All right, what is going on, guys? It is John from Pistons territory with my guy
Mateo.
Mateo. This is actually the first time we've ever met,
Yes,
but
sir.
welcome to the first episode, I guess, or first recap. We don't really know how we're gonna do it yet, but just recapping the Pistons and Raptors game tonight. Tonight there was no Cade Cunningham. Anyone else missed the game of
Yeah, Corey
importance?
Joseph. Corey Joseph. I don't know if you want to call him important or not, but
Yeah,
Dwayne Casey thinks he's important. So,
yeah, he was starting for a couple games.
yeah.
And Kojo didn't make it, and there was a lineup change today, so I think that would be a perfect way to start. What did you think of the lineup change tonight, Mateo?
Man, that thing really surprised me because Sadiq Bey has started for us for so long, so long. He started, I believe, all 82 games last year or something,
Yeah,
something like that. And so for him to be the one who loses the starting spot kind of surprised me. I thought maybe we would have gone with Bojan first and tried that out, but I guess Dwayne Casey had other plans.
yeah. Me personally, I disagree with it because I don't know. I just think Sadiq, his 3-point shooting has been a little disappointing this year, but he's just been really rock solid. I mean, what are your thoughts on Sadiq? Because has he been disappointing for you this year, or have you been happy with what you saw from him?
Honestly, like to me, he's not been disappointing at all. Just because we've been able to see that he has a great scoring potential, regardless of how well he shoots the ball. Like, yeah, his rookie year and his sophomore year, that was his main thing. Was like, yeah, he's in the corner on the wing, open threes. That's his thing. But now he can drive, he can finish, he can get contact. He's a much better foul drawer now, and so. I think it really opens up his game a lot. So, regardless of his shooting, he still should be out there for the scoring for us, in my opinion.
Yeah, absolutely. He was 1 of 5 from three tonight, though, so he was shooting 31% coming into the game. But like I said, his finishing and kind of like his isolation play is something that has really surprised me. So I really don't agree with it. I would have personally seen, Bogyang bench, but I also understand it because he's just a better offensive player right now. But that was a little surprising. And Marvin Bagley, I believe this was his second game of the year.
Yeah. He played off the bench in the last
Yeah.
game. Yeah.
Gets the start, 28 minutes tonight, 16 points, 5 rebounds, 6 of 11 from the field, even hit a three. Um, was pretty good. What did you see from Marvin Bagley tonight?
Honestly, I was just excited to get more minutes out of him because we haven't seen him at all this year, and even last year was pretty sparingly what we got to see. And so I'm really excited that he's confident out there. He looks like he's a little more mobile. He looks healthy, which is good. He does look a little slow on defense, but I think he's working his way back into full game speed and everything like that. And yeah, the 3-pointer he hit early in the game was definitely a little surprising, but something that I think is important for us, especially if we're going to run that two big man lineup.
Yeah, what are your like kind of expectations for Bagley? Do you think he's more of a bench player? Do you see him being the starting power forward? Like, what are your thoughts on Bagley? Going into the future.
Man, it's tough because we signed him for so much money that you really want to like get as much value out of him as you can. But with as much cap space as we're going to have, it's really not that important that we make him that big of a centerpiece. I would like to see him on the bench probably long term. Ideally, I think we have a more, I would say, a more flexible forward there who can move a little faster. Probably not as long. Oh, actually, definitely as long as him, but a little more mobile, faster, who can play better defense. I think in today's game, you need a wing, someone at the four who can absolutely play defense. And so I think he'll be better off long term off the bench, but I don't mind him playing in the starting lineup this year because it's okay. We're experimenting and we have him for years. So, let's see what he can do, right?
Yeah, it's crazy, bro. Remember he was getting compared to like Anthony Davis and stuff.
Yeah, they were calling him a bust and everything. And he's definitely still super solid and he's super young too.
I see. If you're getting drafted before Luca and Trey, like I don't know, man. You have to be at least a good starter in this league for me, at least.
At this point, yeah, for what he was drafted at, like he needs to be at a better point. But I don't know, Sacramento, they talent there just it doesn't seem
Yeah,
to fizzle. It doesn't seem to fizzle out
yeah,
that well. It doesn't seem to work out.
yeah. Shout out Tyrese Halliburton in Indiana, man. And
Man, is he hooping though?
yeah, he's going off, bro. But yeah, I don't know. What did we even give up for Bagley? Was it like Trey Lyles and like was that it?
Uh,
Trey Lyles?
Josh Jackson too.
Oh. Dude, I love Troy Weaver, man.
Troy Weaver, man, he's out there surprising us all the time, doing his thing.
Yeah, but something I was kind of interested in this game was with no Cade, no Corey Joseph. We saw Alec Burks running the point, running the offense for a bit. What did you think of that? I was a bit surprised by that.
Yeah, it was a little surprising, but I mean, considering two of our point guards were out, I mean, Dwayne Casey's going to do what he has to do, and I think Burks he was hot in his first game last game, and he rode that wave, and he was hot again tonight. Had how many points? He had 15 points. I mean,
Yep.
that's a great performance for him off the bench. Was basically our main source of offense off the bench on a pretty lackluster night for our bench. So, I mean, considering he's scoring that well, I think that's okay. But I don't know where he fits in the next couple games once those guys start coming back, because he definitely needs touches if he wants to score. He's definitely more of like an ISO player, but I like him in the corner and on the wing too once we get some of our guards back.
Yeah, we definitely need some more scoring off the bench. Yeah, Killian did start at point guard tonight, had 6 points. I mean, was 3 of 6, though. He's getting that field goal percentage up. I think he's got it almost at 30% now.
Oh, man.
Slowly climbing. Dude, he's getting there, though. He's
Yeah.
slowly getting there. But I don't know, man. For me, my player of the game probably has to be Jaden Ivey. 21 points, 8 assists. Was a little inefficient, just 6 for 16, but I mean, what are your thoughts on Ivy, man? Do you see everything you expected him to be? Because for me, I couldn't be happier with him right now.
Yeah, same. I mean, to be honest, the fact that we can know that when Kate is out, or if someone else is out who's significant, we can have someone like Ivy come and run the show. That's such a huge part of having a deep team, because if you just have your one guy like we had last year with Cade, when he was out, that was it. You know, that was it. Basically, you knew you weren't going to have a guy who was really going to be able to step up at least in multiple games in a row. And seeing that Ivy's able to step in when Cade's not there, and even maybe when Cade's having an off night. He had a couple bad games right before he was out. Maybe that had something to do with his injury. And Ivy has been stepping up in his place, which is definitely something we are glad to see this early in his career.
Yeah, for sure. I think I saw a stat where it's like he has the third most points in like his first 13 games, and it's like Isaiah Thomas and I forget who else was above him, but he's in some really, really good company. And I was surprised he was ahead of Cade in that, but then you remember, the terrible start Cade got off to last year.
Yeah,
But
start.
yeah, but yeah, are you liking the fit there? Do you think they play well off each other? Do you see them fitting long term together, Cade and Ivy?
Yeah. I think that their chemistry is still pretty new, but I think they're building it, and it's going to be something super special one day. I mean, I saw one of the quotes saying that Ivy was just following Cade around everywhere in the facility, even outside of the facility. They were doing everything together, and I think the desire for Ivy and Cade that they both have to build a relationship with each other, both on and off the court, is really going to be beneficial to us in the long term.
Yeah, absolutely. It's great to see. Something that wasn't too great to see was Isaiah Stewart. He got injured. Was it the second or third quarter he went down?
Third quarter, or no, second quarter, right before halftime.
Okay.
Yeah.
And it sucks because he was playing really well, had 9 points and 4 rebounds, 3 of 6 from the field, was 2 of 2 from 3.
Yep.
And what are you thinking of Isaiah Stewart as a stretch 4, man?
Man, I mean, I like him out there. To me, the biggest thing is his switchability. Like, not only is he able to, guard the big men that aren't too big. He does sometimes get outbodied by some guys, but he's able to guard big men and then switch on to guys who are forwards, guys who are guards, and then he's able to run the floor because he's not slow and he's a hustler. So he gets out there, he runs the floor, he gets down there, he gets open, gets guys open, he's running for dunks, and then he's getting open on the perimeter, and they're hitting him, and he's confident, and it's looking really good right now.
Yeah, I mean, I was a guy that wasn't too high on him just because I didn't think he was athletic enough. He's not the biggest guy. He's only 6'8", 6'9". But, he's been so solid for us. And I think playing next to a guy in Bogdanovich who is not going to help you much defensively, is not going to help you much on the boards. Isaiah Stewart is really doing, like, God's work down there, man. Like, Shout out Isaiah Stewart. He's been really, really good this season. His three-point shooting after tonight, it's probably around – 31, 32%, which that should continue to climb. But I think he's proving to be at, maybe at least a starting caliber center, maybe not for this team long term, but at least for some teams, wouldn't you think?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, his rebounding ability, his hustle, and I mean, obviously he plays the game with a passion, which at with those things combined, like any team could use you. And probably right now, like the way you're looking at it, he's not a starting caliber player on a playoff team. But right now he's definitely a starting caliber player on a team like ours.
Yeah. And one thing we have struggled with is the bench scoring. And it kind of sucks because we get Bagley back, we get Alex Burks back, and then we lose Cade. So it's like we want to see this team healthy. But like once they do, fully get healthy, what is the bench? What do you want to see from the bench? What's like the ideal lineup you want to see?
I mean, ideally, it's headed by Killian. It's headed by Killian. I want to see the bench run by Killian. Now, is that going to happen? It hasn't been looking like that, but recently he has been stepping it up. His scoring ability has gone up, and that's the number one thing that has to happen. He has to start scoring. We need scoring off the bench, and it has to come from your point guard. And I think that's something that if Killian can do, I think that will make our bench that much better because it'll take the pressure off of Livers. It'll take the pressure off of Diallo. It'll take the pressure off of all these other guys who aren't necessarily as good of scorers. And so I think that'll just help our bench be more well-rounded because right now we're kind of just either three hunting with Livers or Diallo's trying to drive and get something to go. And it just doesn't look that great. So I'd like to see a more cohesive unit, which, like you said, it's gonna have to take a healthy team and a healthy Cape Cunningham for us to actually see that and see how it works. But I'd like to see Killian playing a big part in that.
Yeah, for sure. So if we get more into the game, Pistons, they were down a bit. Fourth quarter, they had a bit of a comeback. They outscored the Raptors 34-27. I didn't see much of the fourth quarter. I saw the final, couple minutes. What did you see in that fourth quarter? Was it the bench that was bringing him back? Who was leading the charge there for the Pistons?
None other than Jaden Ivey. I mean, it was Jaden. I mean, he was pretty quiet for the rest of the game. He wasn't being too aggressive. He wasn't out of control or anything. He just wasn't too aggressive because we had other guys who were scoring. And so when the fourth quarter came around, we looked for him to score, and he was driving a lot, and he was really suffocating the defense because even when we were getting scored on, we would inbound to him really right away. He would run down the court and immediately collapse the defense, and he would hit either Bojan or Livers in the corner, and they'd be wide open. Now, we missed a couple of those threes, which really hurt us, but it ultimately was what ended up getting us back in the game was Ivy both driving and kicking.
Yeah, and the Raptors do eventually point it out. And I want to kind of talk about the Raptors a little quick because I am like a basketball junkie. So I
Yeah.
kind of like obviously the Pistons are my team, but I do follow the other teams. What have you seen from the Raptors so far? Do you think they can take that next step this year? Are they kind of just I mean, they're 8-7 right now. Do they look like a mediocre team to you?
I just don't even know what to think with the Raptors, man. Their lineups confuse me, and their coaching confuses me. And I'm not saying it's bad. I'm not saying it's a bad thing whatsoever. I respect Nick Nurse and I respect what they have going on over there, especially with their draft picks and their development. But I just don't know where this team is going long term. I think that they have to look to probably trade Fred VanVleet and probably find something else. Scotty Barnes looks really good today. He didn't look great.
Mhm.
He didn't score that well, but his defensive presence was definitely very clear, and I think that's very promising for them. And Pascal is having a great season until he got injured, so I think they definitely are going to be a playoff team again this year. I don't think they take the next step until they make another move, though.
Yeah, they had what was his name? Banton. What is his first name? Delano Banton.
Delano Banton, yep,
Yeah, 27 points. He dropped on the Pistons tonight.
yeah, that
I
was
don't know.
ridiculous.
Is there? We could get into a whole debate of like Pistons killers. I don't think there's any Pistons killers on this Raptors team, right?
No, I have my short list too, and
Really, we're
and
gonna
there
have.
weren't. Yeah, we're gonna have to break that down. We have to break that down. But no, I didn't have any Raptors on my list yet, and he definitely was added today. I mean, he just had came in with vengeance. Like it was something I had never seen. I was like, this guy, he came in and he just wanted to dominate, and frankly, he did.
Yeah, Chris Boucher 20 points off the bench as well. Uh, so yeah, Pistons they fall to 3-12. So I believe the Pistons record wise they're the worst team in basketball, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Do you buy that? Like I know you can't take everything from record. Do you honestly think this is the worst team in basketball?
No, no, there's no way. If you look at our schedule and look at the teams we've played and also how we've played against the teams we've played, I think you would know that we're definitely much better than the worst team in the league. I mean,
Which
we've
would
been
be
playing the
who?
tight teams closely. That's
I
actually a good
Yeah,
question.
because Houston, I think Houston is not the greatest. I'd have to probably go with
I'm
them, but
putting Houston below us. I don't know where I'd put like there's teams like Orlando, like they're
yeah,
playing pretty well right now. That's the thing. So it's hard to like put them below us. They're not good or anything, but Paolo's having a great season and it looks like they're trending in the right direction over there too.
no,
Um,
that is true because I feel like we haven't been blown out that many times this year. It's only
no.
been, I mean, earlier in this season it was a bit, in like the Boston game recently, but then the second time we played Boston, we kept it pretty close.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. And I mean, we beat Golden State last week, and we've had a lot of close losses. We lost very close to the Bucks. Cade had a chance to tie that game and send it to overtime. And
Oh
then I
yeah.
went to the second Bucks game of that week, and we got blown out, unfortunately. But that's what happens when you play the Bucks on back-to-back games.
Yeah, so I mean, looking forward, the schedule has been rough to be fair, but they do play the Clippers, so we got 2 days rest. What do you want to see? Cade's obviously probably not going to be in the game, but what do you want to see from this team moving forward?
I want to see what we're going to plan to do without Isaiah Stewart because ultimately, if he's not here right now, there's chances down the line that he's going to be injured. And that's why we have this big man rotation that we have now. That's why we have guys like Duran and Bagley and even Nerlens Noel, as much as I hate to say it. We have these guys. So I'd like to see what the plan is for us to do when maybe Stu is hurt. And how can we build some consistency when our lineups aren't consistent? Because we're obviously like it feels like we're cursed with the injuries. We can never have a fully healthy team. And the reality is that might just be the way it is. And we're going to have to find a way to play with that and play with different lineups through those injuries.
Yeah. And the one thing I did see, I think I saw it on Twitter or somewhere, was like the Pistons were fielding calls on Bojan Bogdanovic. Do you buy that? Do you think they would actually be willing to trade him this early into his Pistons tenure?
I mean, a week ago, I would have said no, but I watch him playing and his demeanor doesn't look great. He doesn't look very happy out there. He doesn't look like a leader, really, to be quite frank. He did earlier in the season when he was hot, but recently, even with his scoring, he doesn't look like he's really fighting to be with this team. It doesn't really seem like there's a long-term fit here. And that's interesting because we just signed him to the extension. So I don't know what the plan is there. I mean, I think we could be fielding him if Troy Weaver thinks that, hey, like this is it, like we need to switch something up right now. But I don't see why he would feel any pressure to be rushed to do it right now. Why not wait, to the deadline maybe?
Yeah, I feel that. Well, yeah, I mean, anything else you want to add or go over in terms of the game tonight? Any talking points, hot topics?
Man, I'm more than anything, I'm just sad Casey's win streak
Yeah,
against the Raptors is done because like that was a huge bragging point that he had for a while and that we had against Raptors fans.
I
And it
know.
sucks because like neither team was healthy tonight, so like either way, it wouldn't have been a fair matchup. But you would have liked to see the Pistons take that one and continue that streak.
Yeah, that is rough because we did. Did you hear Raptor? I heard some Raptors cheers tonight. Did you?
Yeah, I was on the broadcast. I was hearing "Let's Go Raps" and I was like, "What is going on?" But apparently, they always show out in Detroit.
Dude, does that make you mad? Because that makes me so mad, bro.
It does. It makes me very mad because I know we're not going to Toronto for games.
No, you know what makes me mad is like when we play Golden State or the Lakers, and you'll have all these Lakers fans and Golden State fans. I'm like, I don't know why it makes me mad, but it does.
No, I totally understand it because especially for a team like Detroit that has a good legacy, has a good history, winning history, and it's like you want to see people be loyal to the place that they're from. But
Yeah,
unfortunately, with our recent success, that hasn't really been the case for a lot of people.
yeah, for sure. But I don't know. That's pretty much all we have for the game recap. One more question: the jerseys, man, yay or nay?
I'm gonna go slight yay for now. Slight yay.
Really? You
They
like the
grew on me.
jerseys?
They grew on me. At first when I saw them, on the pictures and the leaks and everything, I didn't really like them. But on the players, they actually look kind of smooth. The shorts are really nice, and I like how the design meshes into the shorts. But slight yay. Not a
Okay.
craze yay, just slight.
Are they Verners? Is that what they are?
No, no,
Why?
no. That's what people were saying
Oh.
originally, but it's for a legendary gym, St.
Oh, okay.
Cecilia's. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so I thought it was like I don't know. I don't know because
No, that makes sense though, Werner.
no, yeah, because my mom was watching the game. She's like, "Why are they wearing green?" I was like, I don't know." but then,
Yeah.
but yeah, that's good enough. But hey, they didn't play bad in them at least. You know.
No, it wasn't a bad game to watch at all. You know, this was a game that we definitely could have been blown out. I mean, I think that's the case for any game that we don't have Cade and we lose Isaiah Stewart halfway through. I mean, like that's definitely a game that we could lose by a lot more. So to see us fight to the end there, especially after being down double digits, that was exciting for sure.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, we're 15 games in. Had this rough start for you. You know, what were your expectations in the season? Have you been disappointed so far? If we
No,
know we can
no,
end it
I'm
on
not
that.
disappointed. I mean, we know this is a long-term rebuild. We
Really?
know
Because
that.
there was a lot of people that were like, Pistons are playing. Pistons are playing. At least.
Hey, I will say I had predicted us, I think, around 11 or 12 seeds. So I definitely did not have
Mm,
us in the bottom three. I did see us taking a little bit of a jump. But that being said, I think it's a long season, and I think that we still probably could get up to a win total that's a little higher than people thought. But I wouldn't call it any personal disappointment because at the end of the day, I'm not expecting us to be a good playoff caliber team yet. And I know this is long term, and I know Troy Weaver has a plan.
yes. Trust in Troy.
We trust in Troy for sure.
All right, but that's all we got for you guys today. Pistons upcoming games. We got Clippers on Thursday, the Lakers on Friday, and then I believe the Kings on Sunday. So a nice West Coast trip.
I think it's a 6-game West Coast trip.
Really, I can't wait to stay up and watch them play the Clippers.
Yeah, it's
But
gonna be
yeah,
good.
should be fun, man. But I don't know, man. This is our first episode, our first recap. I'm John's Mateo. Hopefully we can build the team up a little more, bring Pistons territory back to its glory.
Yeah, yeah,
Uh,
need
we'll,
it,
we'll
need it.
s- yeah, we'll see what happens. But this is just something I wanted to do. I love Pistons, and I've been thinking about this for a while. So thank you, Mateo, for joining me. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks for having me. I'm excited for this, man.
Yeah. But that's all we got for you guys today. We'll see you guys in the next one.